Take me to Beverly Kaufman Dog Park. And we're off. All right, it's a Saturday morning. We're going to take Chewy to stretch his legs, get his steps in, get our steps in. It's a quick trip to the local dog park up here. We're going to be taking some back alley roads, seeing how our AI student driver FSD supervised 12.5.6.3 does. We are in Panda AI 4 Model X. And yeah, it's a pretty cloudy day here in Southeast Texas in my neck of the woods. But yeah, we're gonna get it going. Pretty chilly out. I think we're in the low 40s, high 30s in some areas, but no better weather to get us active and moving. So far, so good. Our AI student driver is obeying the speed limit. There's not a whole lot of cars around us, so this is kind of what I expect. We're getting closer and closer to Hustletown having his brand new Model 3. I doubt I'll get a performance because I don't like touching the accelerator, honestly. I think the long range all-wheel drive will do me just fine. But yeah, that's looking like that's gonna happen a whole lot sooner. Maybe, just maybe, we can be a part of the record-breaking deliveries that I hope Tesla has. Anything over 515,000 deliveries would be an exceptional win. But me personally, I want 525,000. So yeah, I have a feeling I will be ordering probably within the next couple of weeks. We're still gotta iron it out with the missus and make sure that it's right. So we kind of got used to just having the one car financially, but I think we can squeeze a little room in for a mild monthly payment of a year or so. But again, we'll iron that out. But it's looking like we got a 70-80% chance of, you know, our lair back at the house holding 2 Teslas. Cybertruck is what I really wanted. I kind of, you know, it just doesn't make a whole lot of financial sense to have both Panda and the Cybertruck, which would be named Steelix. But yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of financial sense with what I plan to do with TSLA, right? The goal is to keep accumulating as much TSLA as I possibly can on red days, and any purchase of a vehicle will hinder that. But a Cybertruck would I wouldn't be purchasing any Tesla for a while, for a long while. So, all right, when we were at this stop before, our AI student driver would not pick up speed to 45 miles an hour. It is doing so effortlessly. So these are the little things, right? I'm not sure what it is that the code is looking at. I don't know if it's learning on the fly. Like that seems highly unlikely. That it's just some random situations that makes the software do what it does. You know what I mean? But right there, that is an example of a week ago, we had trouble getting up to speed, right? After we made that right-hand turn, we were just stuck at like 20 miles an hour for some reason, and we had to give it the accelerator. Today, 1 week later, basically, I haven't received an update. It does the maneuver perfectly. So, you know, for the most part, the software performs great, like no complaints. And when it does have a mental mistake, it seems to shore it up fairly quickly. especially on 12.5.6.3. I've never seen it really make the same mistake twice. In any given situation, most of what I report as a potential disengagement, nothing crash critical, but what I would report as a disengagement, it has never replicated that exact same disengagement, except with the mild exception of the last 100 feet of our typical evening drive. So we're always going in the back alley of that shopping district in my videos. I've seen our AI student driver actually do it right. But as of late, it's been a while. And so like right now, I don't know what it is. All right. We're on this freshly constructed road. We definitely we definitely dropped in speed for sure. I don't know if it's just being cautious in that area, but it's nothing that I needed to press the accelerator for, but it was a noticeable drop in speed. Right now we're traveling about 5 miles under the speed limit, which is fine. I'm not in a rush. 5 to 6 miles an hour under the speed limit. But we're making it do what it do. I don't know. Again, it's just a little wonky, but nothing so severe that you're like, I'm gonna disengage and just drive myself. No. We have crossed the Rubicon on that, ladies and gentlemen. If I am in the driver's seat, FSD will be engaged. There is no doubt in my mind about that. And I will just put up with some of these mild, inconvenient nuances here. We're coming up on this four-way stop with the blinking reds. It's not like it's out or anything, but this is a typical four-way stop. And we proceed just like we're supposed to. It is very quiet this Saturday morning. Not a lot of traffic. I don't expect a lot of problems, but there is some construction that goes on back here. Again, we got some of the speed issues on these back roads that I just want to get more eyes on, essentially, reference material. And again, it's not perfect, but we're edging in that right direction. So I'm all about that. Chewbacca, we're almost there. It's amazing how dogs have this like propensity to make you feel bad for them. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. And once we get to the dog park, he'll be all smiles and whatnot. Yeah. AI 4 vehicles should be hopefully getting version 13 of the FSD software, maybe out to some of the early beta testers. I mean, there's been talk that maybe they'll just mass release it to everybody, which I doubt, but it would be fun to see all the videos flood in from X and even on YouTube or whatever, about what they're experiencing in their various different regions. So looking forward to anybody getting version 13. That'll be my super indicator on the progress of how FSD will perform in the years to come, whether or not we see some unsupervised action in California, maybe Texas and beyond, right? So I think my general opinion of machine learning is that some of this is beyond our reasoning as humans. So I fully expect there to be just an accelerated level of progress that, we may not be able to show the math on, but man, is our AI student driver going to be able to do things that even the humans, that even if I were behind the wheel, would be like, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to make that maneuver, or I wouldn't have been able to foresee this. And it's going to prevent crashes. It's going to give us back our time, definitely already giving us back our energy, so we can do things like travel to the dog park safely, and then have as much fun as we possibly can. I just don't see how people don't have the software engaged. if they are aware of where it's come from. I mean, I get it. If you used FSD a year ago, you're like, nah, I'd rather drive myself, which is fair. We're at a blinking yellow here. The vehicle proceeds. It's pretty flawless. There's not a lot of oncoming traffic, so it's doing exactly what I expect it to do. But if you haven't tried FSD in the last couple of months, yeah, you need to sit down and see what the software can and cannot do for you on your trips. The goal is for this to be comfortable for the user, right? Like, you feel more comfortable using the software than you would if you didn't have it engaged. And that's where I'm at. I've been at this stage for almost 6 to 7 months now, and it's only gotten better in that time frame. So the dog park seems to be relatively empty. I think we might go to this one and take a couple of laps here. I mean, it's cold out, so we're gonna go to the big dog park. Let's see if our AI student driver can park us here. Let's do that. While we park, yeah, we're gonna go to the bigger, larger, get a couple laps in, and we should be back. See how we do. Maybe the clouds will part and we'll get some of this sun glare, but I doubt it. It's been pretty smooth sailing. We'll be right back. Well, that was brisk. It was cold. I see why there's no one else out here, but we had a good time, right, Chew? I think we did. A little stretch of the legs. Get a light jog in, right? All right. So we're headed back. And part of me wanted to go to Buc-ee's, but I was just like, nah, we're good with what we got at the house. You know what I mean? So let's see how we do. All right, Chewy, get ready. Any parking lot shenanigans in store for us today? It seems unlikely, but you never know. This gate always kind of scares me a bit, but it looks like our AI student driver is giving that open side of that gate a wide berth. Wonderfully. Again, it is quite cold outside, and it's so wonderful to put in the climate control. I keep it at 69. That is homeostasis for me, 69 degrees. So when it's 30, 40 degrees outside right now, hit the climate control, it'll get it to 69. It is so wonderful coming into a vehicle that is at 69 degrees no matter what temperature it is outside. In the summer, it is quite noticeable. 100-degree weather down here in Southeast Texas, obviously a plus. But when it's 38, 40 degrees outside, damn near freezing, and it's 69 degrees in your car, I think it's more noticeable. Like if you were to go somewhere, roll down your window, and they'd be like, damn, it's warm in there. Yeah, it is. So noticeable difference even on the flip side of the temperature gauge. But yeah, we had a nice time. Our AI student driver does most of my driving. I don't think I could live without this thing. It's for all of its flaws, I'd rather it do the driving. I guess that's true love right there. Despite its flaws, you're still willing to put up with it. Now we kind of it wasn't, I don't know where we'd have went with that pothole being that way. It's just the nature of the business with all this construction going on. These roads are going to get tore up from the floor up, and they're going to come back in and redo the roads once they've done all this stuff out here. So, put up with it a little bit. Probably get a tire change sometime next year, probably. Let's see how that goes. Cold weather. It's good to have fresh tread. It's 45, the speed limit out here. The vehicle's now going 47. So, I mean, it's like sometimes it wants to do the speed limit or just a little bit above. Sometimes it wants to go 35 and a 45. There really is no rhyme or reason. As long as it's comfortable, I really could care less. See what's going on behind me. Well, yeah, so, you know, it's only when it's noticeably too fast or noticeably too slow, which it does have some of those occurrences. But it's gonna turn out to be a beautiful Saturday. And I'll do some more contemplating, some more building on the AI, some more building on the Tesla website of the future Model 3 I plan to have. Yeah. It is, I'm anxious, right? I kind of want to, definitely my FSD video postings will skyrocket when this is no longer a shared experience for me and the missus, but probably do a whole lot more things. So we are, I don't know, that four-way stop was kind of fucked up. It got to the light, it stopped a good distance before the stop sign, and then it kind of like crawled to the stop sign, and I don't know if it was ever gonna go. It definitely wouldn't have gone on its turn, it felt like, so I gave it a little bit of the accelerator. You know, but again, like, it's like sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's the inconsistency of it all that kind of, like, you know, what's going on here. But if it's a simple accelerator press, you know, how fast they're able to teleoperate a situation like that in a robo-taxi, you know, I don't even know how often something like that would happen in a robo-taxi, right? I'd imagine, let's just imagine the Tesla robo-taxi service opens up in the greater Houston area. Houston, Pearland, Sugarland, Katy, you know, and probably go as far, you know, the Woodlands. Let's say it even goes that far. I'd imagine there'll be routes pre-programmed inside of it, right? Effectively making it a geo-fenced location when you're talking about the greater Houston area. Would this road be on that robo-taxi? I mean, it would have to be if I would want to get to Beverly Kaufman, essentially, maybe. I mean, there's multiple routes to get there. Either way, I think there's just some things that they're going to notice in the data where it is less likely to need some teleoperation, or more likely, right? Given the various different construction schedules. Like, these are the things that Tesla is collecting. There's thousands of Teslas in this area collecting data at various different times of the day and night. Pothole. And, but, you know, where are we going to go, right? I guess we could kind of try to swerve it, but we're just going to take that hit. And with all that data being collected, you got to assume that they know where the construction sites are, and eventually get that data back and be like, all right, we just won't go in this area for the time being. We'll just navigate around it. I think Tesla is poised to just take this market by storm, just by sheer volume of the data that they possess, and the vehicles ready for the, you know, like every one of the vehicles they make is ready for robo-taxi once they're ready to flip the switch. So we just went through the blinking yellow light, no problem. I mean, if there's no vehicles around, I fully expect it to do well, except at that four-way stop where it just creeped. And some say it might be the blinking reds, but when we were going to the dog park, the blinking reds weren't an issue. I don't know. It's just tough. You know, I forgot. I didn't even report it. I just hit the accelerator. So I'm sure they got that data. I should have reported it, but either way. With that being said, none of it is going to make me not have the software on. Like, these are just minute errors that, in the grand scheme of things, it's just, I'm going to keep activating the software as long as I find it comfortable and useful. And to me, with the release of version 13 imminent, it's only going to get better from here. So hats off to Ashok and the Tesla AI team. Timelines may vary, but as long as the software arrives, I could care less if it happens today, tomorrow, or a year from now. Keep up the good work, fellas. I appreciate you trying to nail it down with a timeline, but I'd like to say I understand. I don't understand it at all, but I appreciate what you're trying to do, considering no one else is allowing me to purchase a vehicle that drives itself. So let's cut these guys a little bit of slack, shall we? Alright, I really ain't got nothing else to say. Eagerly awaiting for some of the early beta testers to get version 13, which doesn't mean that I don't want it myself. I mean, if y'all want to include me in that early rollout in here in Southeast Texas, your boy would be happy to oblige. But until then, I guess this ends our Saturday morning chat. Chewbacca and I are out. Be easy. Bird.